Good morning, YouTubers. Hey, this is Matt coming at you from the After Hours Auto Body. Today it's actually before hours. It's 7 a.m. on the weekend, and it's a rainy day here in Wisconsin. It's kind of foiled some of my plans, but I'm not going to let it get me down because I've got a lot to do and not much time to do it in. So it's been about a month since I posted a video, so let's give you a good update. Alright, so Tessie, here she is. Alright, got everything kind of cleaned out and just kind of looking good. The roof is ready for final paint. We are going green this coming weekend. I have everything done on the roof with the exception of a couple spots that need to be seam sealed, and they're completely upside down, so I have to make sure I grab the right product, and then I have to seam seal the tops of the quarters. Goes all the way around, but everything else is done and looking slick. I got 4 hours approximately in just prepping this. 2 hours block sanding, and you can see where, there was obviously some spots. I was honestly surprised that there were so many. You can't really see it when it's, oops, sorry, like this, but like this kind of stuff. It's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. But if you can kind of get the light, you kind of see the light on there. It looks pretty damn straight. There's maybe a couple ripples in it, but this is all finished with 500 on a DA. Oops, there's a little valley right there. Guess what? It's going to stay in there because you kind of see that a little bit. I don't know, I can. That'll be fine. It'll be fine. I think once that's green, I don't think you'll ever really see that. Anyways, I don't care. I care, but I don't care. It's like sorry, but not sorry. So anyhow, I got the front aprons on. I did decide to go ahead and spray the insides with bed liner as well, the truck bed liner, the Raptor. I was going to put them in and just black epoxy, which is what the air cleaner is, just black epoxy. It didn't look finished. It didn't look right. I didn't want to go ahead and do them in the satin black because I wanted to have some difference in texture and appearance from the fender edges, because those are going to be black, of course. And I didn't want to do them green because I just thought that would be too much green. It would be too much under the hood. So they are now black Raptor. They are installed loosely, of course, so they can be adjusted once everything else is back on. And big deal. This is a big deal. I drove it yesterday. I drove it around my yard. I actually took my kids for a ride, my wife for a ride, my mother-in-law on a ride. And we drove it around the yard. Got a pretty big yard here, so I just drove it around and just took my cooling fan up to a battery pack and ran the cooling fan. I don't think it even got warm enough for it to matter, but it engages really good and runs super. No leaks. No puddles this morning. Brakes work great. They maybe need to be bled out one more time. But other than that, everything's awesome. Everything is awesome. So the plan for the roof is to get the car down to the shop. I'm going to do this in the booth and do final mask, and it's going to get sealed gray and then sprayed green. And then I'll bring it home in preparation for starting to get glass in it and whatever tidbits I can get installed. Another update here. I got this isn't really a big deal, but it kind of is. I got these pull vent cables in. Those little suckers, left and right, they come as a pair. There's the other one. They're like 50 bucks, brand new. And as luck would have it, I went to Torque Fest in Iowa, and they got a nice little swap meet there. And the guy had a table full of Tri-5 stuff, and I don't think he really knew what he all had, and etc. And found a set of cables. Oops, wrong way. and they were seized up, but I could tell that they would probably be savable, and he didn't have them marked. I said, so how much? $1 a piece, he says. Okay, so I grabbed them for $1 a piece. No big deal. And brought them home. I put them in a big coffee container like this with some oil. I just throw any like not waste oil, but like, you know, if there's a little dribble left in a brake fluid container or a little bit left in a transmission container, I just put it in there and it's oil soaked. So I soaked them in there for like 2 weeks, and they work awesome. I just cleaned them up and repainted the ends and the knobs, and they work beautiful. So I got $2 in my pull vents. So I feel like I saved some money there. So anyways, goal for today, weather permitting, it is raining out, weather permitting, here are my front doors that I've gotten from my Tri-5 Chevy parts guy, Randall, over at Classic Chevy Enterprises. He is a Tri-5 Chevy and Impala hoarder, and he has a fantastic business there. And if there's anything you ever want to know about either one of those cars, if he doesn't know it, it doesn't exist. So so here's the deal. These are the doors. I traded some other stuff for the doors because mine were completely shot on the bottom. Now these are not what I would call rust free, but these are what I would consider rot free. Flanges are not swollen at all, not even a little. The insides look good. Here I pulled away the dampener. It's bare metal and it's clean. These doors came from Tennessee. He has a yard in Tennessee, and as he's able to, he brings parts up as needed. And these doors, they've been up in Wisconsin in indoor storage for several years, but they were from a Tennessee car. I honestly don't even know how straight they are. They're pretty straight, I guess. But they're what I was most concerned about is down here, is the lip. Not that the lip can't be fixed, but I'm at the point where I'd rather spend a little bit more money for something that is relatively rust or rot free and worry about dents later. However, these doors are off of a 150 model. A 150 model, as I can show you on the other one, 150 model is going to have chrome through the, I'm sorry, a 150 model does not have chrome through the middle or up on this top belt line. They all have it on that belt line, but not the upper. So what I need to do is I need to bring my old, that's a rear door of course, but I'm just showing for example. So what I'm going to need to do is once these doors are all stripped and everything, I'm going to have to drag my original front doors in here and make templates. And if you'll notice, you can see that in there, I don't know, right here, there's voids in the factory sound ending for the holes. The shell right here, see, that's just not drilled. I know that's where my front and rear is going to be, so the rest of it's going to be a piece of cake. The uppers, I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. It will depend on what the chrome trim retainers look like, I guess. But these doors are really, really nice. I got to just take the rest of the tidbits off of them. And then goal for today is to actually get these stripped down to bare metal and sandblast all the jam edges and get them in epoxy. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spray the tops with the satin black, because I originally was going to, I'm going to two-tone the doors, you know, the green to match the rest of the, you know, profile. But I was thinking I would just go and just do the whole tops. But after closer examination, what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to do the tops black, and then I'm going to do my tape, my two-tone line right through this trim screw, right up to the weather strip screw. So I'm just going to do this outer part green, and I wouldn't even have to do that. I could just back tape it and just do the, you know, back tape it here and just do the front screen But I want the green to wrap in really nice and look like it was intentional. And I also want to keep this black, this part of it black, because if I end up doing my inside trim, the metal trim, green, then I've got some contrast there, and it'll look really cool. But these are really nice doors. I'm not going to tell you what I paid for them. I really don't know because I traded them some stuff. I had some 55 bumpers and some other miscellaneous stuff that we were able to make a trade on, even up trade, which was fantastic. So I'm going to get going on these, and then I'm also going to try and get the tailgate stripped and primed, and maybe get the rest of the seam sealer done on the roof line, if that works out. So wish me luck. That is a very tall order for today. Like I said, it's about 7 o'clock, 7:30. I got the shop all cleaned out and locked up, like closed up, because the mosquitoes are nuts, and it's raining, so they're gonna hatch again. So I'm gonna get it done when I get done. My original plan was that it wasn't supposed to be raining, and I was gonna just drive Tessie out and leave her outside while I do this stuff inside. But I'm gonna have to put a cover on her, I guess. I'm just gonna throw a piece of plastic over it, or I do have car covers upstairs, I guess. But it's relatively clean right now, and I'd rather keep it clean, but I don't want it to be out in the rain either. So, alright, so wish me luck, and I'll bring it back when there's more to show. Thanks, guys.